We've been working on this for almost 20 years or longer, and it's come to be now that we're able to clear some of this. What you see behind me is the salt cedars, and there's about 18 miles that we're working on from Litchfield Road to State Route 85.
They're very prolific. They grow very rapidly. They tend to eradicate the other vegetation, natural vegetation around them. And once they start, they're almost unstoppable. And they're very, very, very difficult to get rid of once they're established. And literally there's hundreds of thousands of them in the river bottom area that we're working in.
In the future, we're concerned about the water coming down from the floods, and it will flood about 6,000 acres of farmland, a couple hundred houses, probably some in the parts of the areas in the south side of Buckeye will be flooded, possibly the city itself. Downtown could be flooded. Water flows through here as high as 200,000 CFS, so water in the past has been where I'm standing right now. What you see behind me is what causes it to flood.
If you look at the flood control maps for the area, the width of the flood impact zone has grown dramatically over the last several years. Each time it's reevaluated, it gets wider and wider. The area we're actually standing in was subject, part of it was subject to a fire several years ago. It was called the Buck Fire. And so now we at least have a small 40-acre fire break in the river bottom area. While we realize that's not going to stop the whole process, it certainly gives us one spot of defendable property we can work from.
But right now, this is a tremendous, tremendous sight that you will see shortly. And it's because the salt cedars have been removed, and they're continuing to do that as we speak.
We actually came through and pulled the salt cedars, mechanically removed them, and then allowed them to dry. We did a lot of research. We identified a product that's an air curtain incinerator. It's approved by the environmental agencies. It burns super hot, consumes about 98% of the material that's placed in it, produces very, very little smoke. It has the least environmental impact of all the options we looked at. That whole row of dead vegetation will be processed through the incinerator. And at the end of that, there will be a small pile of ash that's left. And that ash is actual natural nutrients that will be returned back to the soil and hopefully provide a better base for future growth later on. But right now, the property's been useless as a salt cedar thicket. Nothing can grow in it. It's totally useless. By clearing out areas like this, we can begin to reclaim some useful land, recreational land, or some other natural habitat.
I want people to see this as a ribbon that goes through this valley from the Litchfield area to State Route 85, and certainly this could be a tremendous recreational spot. In the 40-acre site, we hope to plant cottonwood trees and willows. So hopefully we can have a park here of some sort, hopefully resorts in the future. It could be homes along the side of the river. We'd like to have some lakes available so people can come in and recreate. City of Buckeye is open for business, and this is part of it. The growth of the future is here and now, and this is the beginning.